Yo, Donald Glover, doesn't he have a Grammy or something or an Oscar? He has an Oscar, right?
No, a
All
Grammy,
right.
I think.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Glover is a talented dude. My name is Eddie Law. This is the Keyboard Warriors presented by RepTheWarriors.com. That's Fred Kirby. That's Jesse Rubacava. And Jesse, will you kindly introduce our guest?
Well, this week we have one badass guy that has fought for Combates a couple times now. I think this is going to be his fifth time with them. That's Henrik Wassemer, a 6-2 fighter that is going to be one of the guys on the main card in their upcoming fight here in April in Combate Estrellas. I think they're calling it Combate Estrellas 1, and I think like 2 weeks later they have another one down in Mexico. But we're focusing on the best one because it's in LA, and they have the best stars on there. But tell us a little bit about
yourself. Thank you guys for
yourself.
having me on.
Yeah, give us a little bit of background. I especially want to know how you got the nickname Ricky Scraps.
That's the big so I'm gonna start off with my real name. My real name is Heinrich Watt. I'm a flyweight for Combate Americas. This will be my sixth fight with Combate Americas. Flyweight division. I'm trying to run that division, get that title there, and kill everybody in that division. I've been fighting for about 7 years now. And as far as my name, well, like I said, my name is Heinrich, and usually a lot of people kind of have a hard time pronouncing that. Heinrich being a German name, and for a Guatemalan dude, it always throws people off. So it kind of got shortened down to like Rick, Ricky, and me being the smaller dude, I'm always a scrapper dude that's always up there getting it. So Ricky Scraps was just kind of like the thing just came along, and it just stuck. It stuck, and I went. It's pretty good. It's a lot easier to pronounce Ricky Scraps than it is Heinrich Wassemer. So.
See, that's the best. Like when you get a nickname that's kind of weird like that, and it's just such an easy explanation, yet people are like, man, how did that nickname come up? But what's great about your upcoming fight is you guys are going to be first time on what is it, Univision Deportes, right? It's on, I believe that's what it is.
I'm very excited to be on there. Obviously the exposure is amazing, so I'm very, very happy that we're on that channel.
And I got here's the interesting part about this for everybody out there listening. The last two events that Combate has held, it was on Telemundo before. The last event did 280,000 views, and then the one before that was 293,000. Of course, the one with the most was the one that our friend here, Mr. Wassemer, was on. Had a great fight, although it didn't go his way. But I've seen Heinrich fight a couple times, and just give me a little bit about your learning process, because you're a jiu-jitsu guy. You go with 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and like just explain how your evolution has been, because even though the last performance you lost by armbar, I still see that your jiu-jitsu game is evolving as it's going along. So how has it been evolving from that fight?
A lot, and even then, that fight, it was a really big slip up for me. I don't know. It might have been a number of things. Honestly, it was my first fight at state. It was a big show being on Telemundo, like we said, and it was a bit of pressure on me. I don't want to blame it on that. Honestly, the kid was slick. He caught me in an armbar. I think I made a few technical errors where I couldn't necessarily get out of the armbar. But I definitely learned a lot from it. I learned a lot about myself and a lot about the game and the fight and all that. And it's just taught me to be a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident in myself and my game. I know from the last couple fights where I've been able to show my jiu-jitsu, my game has evolved insanely, like crazy. And I was actually really excited to show it against the guy that was also a jiu-jitsu guy. And it just didn't happen to go my way, man. I tossed the crap out of the kid, and he ended up in a position where he caught the armbar. And, props to him. He finished it. He killed it, and he got the win. But it does not define my jiu-jitsu and my game. And like I said, it just kind of showed me to be a little more confident with my game and not doubt myself as much, and just go in there and let it all hang out. Just let it go and let loose out there. So, a loss is a loss. I learned from it. I come back from it. It's not going to define me. It's not going to put me down. My confidence is still up. My jiu-jitsu is still evolving. I've been getting a lot of work with a lot of good guys. And I'm excited to show what I got coming April 13th.
Eddie, you got a question for us?
when you go into a fight, man, because we've heard of like we keep throwing the term around jiu-jitsu guy, right? When you go into a fight, is that your mindset? Do you think, okay, I'm gonna get this guy down and I'm just gonna work him over, or is it just, hey, bring whatever you got, man? Let's see, let's just go wherever we go.
I try to be ready for everything, man. I don't consider myself a jiu-jitsu guy. I consider myself a well-rounded mixed martial artist. I consider myself a fighter that is able to hold his own in any aspect of the game, whether it be stand-up, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, I'm ready for it. And I don't define myself with one thing. Like I said, I'm ready for everything. And I expect my opponents to be the same way, you know. With MMA, you can't just be stuck with one thing. And if you always working in all aspects. I'm working with top wrestlers. I'm working with top jiu-jitsu guys. I'm working with top. I'm betting day in every aspect of the game, and whatever comes my way, I'm ready for it, man. I'm not afraid to fight.
All right, Fred.
Nah, nothing off the top of my head. What do you think about Canelo testing positive? What do you think about that?
Go.
I think that sucks, man. I feel like cheaters not be in the sport, man. And the way I see it, have to stoop to legs because you don't have the confidence in your game. You don't have the confidence in your skills, and you need to get that edge. And the people that do that themselves already, man. If you have to do that to try to citizen ready to be out there in the fights, and like I said, you pretty much beat yourself already in my eyes. And yeah, I think he should be banned. I think he should be suspended. And screw all cheaters, man.
Listen, I totally agree with you. Now, on a serious note, though, he said it was because of Mexican cows or some shit like that. Does anybody buy any of that at all? I mean, I'm just saying, like,
I can't even say
I never had no Mexican steak, Jack. Is there?
I can't even say anything because you're just gonna accuse me of being a homer, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my guy. He's from my hometown. I can't say shit about that. Okay, I can't defend him.
Well, you can. It's just not gonna sound good.
Right. Exactly. It's not gonna sound right. But
you want to get the benefit of the doubt, right? You want to say, all right, you did do it. If that, he would be going out of his way to prove his innocence. People do all kinds of to do. Was the case, but it almost seems like he's kind of trying to like push it away and not, prove his innocence. Like he's okay with just kind of people like having that question, like just kind of find an excuse. So give people the benefit of the doubt. We would like to hope that he's not cheating. The meat and all that stuff, but only time will tell, man.
See, all I'm gonna say, so I don't sound too bad, is it's happened to a handful of our guys. Okay, you can't give everyone shit. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, whatever, man. It's just, I was heartbroken, but I'm with you, man. I'm like, suspend the guy. If he tested positive, fine. If you really think he did it, and he obviously did. He tested positive twice, I think. Suspend him. Fine. They're not gonna do it. That fight's way too big.
Find out.
No, that's what I was going to say. Okay, last question, because this is an MMA program, not a boxing program. But do you guys think that fight actually happens? Is it too big to not happen, or will that? Because I was just reading something that they were saying it's in serious jeopardy.
Man, all I gotta say is money talks.
Go ahead.
Money talks.
Hey, right. And that's exactly what it is. Money talks. This fight is so big. Look, this is all promotion. As bad as it is that Canelo tested positive, it's not a bad thing for the fight. Right? Like it's really
those fucking Mexican cows, Jack.
All right. So speaking about money, like Eddie and I were talking about this before you guys jumped on, and I said it's great that we have a fighter on today to actually get this question out there and kind of discuss this a little bit more. We talked a little bit about it last week about Verdum taking money from a company that's owned by, a dictator that just does heinous things. Now, what was it, yesterday or today, this article came out about Anastasia Yankova, who's a fighter for Bellator. And the problem is that she fought for a company that is owned by a company called White Rex. Now, White Rex is a company that is basically Nazi just driven. They have lots of Nazi symbols in all their stuff. Very, very white nationalist company. So, my question to you, Ricky, or Henrik, is it when you get a sponsor, you're getting a check from somebody, how much do you look into the background of the companies that you're basically that you're representing and are representing you? Because I mean, like Verdum, like a lot of fighters, sometimes their manager, takes over and just goes, yeah, this company, I checked them out. Here you go. Here's your money in your bank. But like, how much does it fall on you as the fighter to verify that stuff?
Personally, I feel like I wouldn't like to be that I don't personally support. I don't like to try to promote companies or products or anything that I don't personally use or I don't know a lot of. So yeah, in that sense, I wouldn't take that money from those people or anything like that, because I feel like there's more just the moral of that stuff, man. Like taking money from those people is just, I feel it's not good, and you kind of give them more power. You know what I mean? You're letting them seem like they're running you and all that stuff. And I'd rather be a partner with somebody that I feel is straight edge people and are better people than racist or any of that type of stuff. Like I said, if it's a sponsor that I have, for the most part, I like it to be people that I know, companies that I support, companies that support me, and there's like more of a connection. And you're right. Once you get bigger, it that starts fading a little more. But I feel it's better to stay more true to your roots and not kind of be a sellout in a sense.
All right, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Let's just for the sake of argument, let's have a little fun here. Enrique, how much money would it take for you to endorse one of these characters? I mean, hypothetically speaking, $1 million, 2 million? Is there a number to where it's like, yeah, I don't agree with this shit, but what the fuck? $5 million is $5 million, right?
I mean, if I could buy a house for my mama, I guess maybe we could talk about it a little bit.
That's right. That's right, Jack.
Hey, look, that's my whole point. No, sorry. My whole point when I heard this whole story was, look, it's already, money in MMA is already light, man. So I'm not surprised she was kind of like, yeah, don't tell me anything about it. Just hand the check over. Just give me the shirt. Hurry up. Take a picture. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? I think it's just, it's not you don't get rich out of MMA right away. In fact, it's really 100%. Difficult. Really difficult. So, I mean, that's one 100%. Thing I guess. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, I agree. I agree with you too, man. I mean, it's a tough sport to really make that money, but, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And I respect that. I know people go and some people are going through it worse than others, so you got to do what you got to do. And I'm not here to judge anybody, to each their own. And it is what it is. Personally, like if it was something like a Nazi racist company, I definitely would have nothing to do with that, because that's way, way like out of my league. But their own, man. I don't judge.
Yeah. And see, the hard part is, and the thing we were talking about last week is, like, you understand, most of us would understand more in like, say like my position or Fred's position or even your position, where you're not Fabricio Verdum, where, you're making those big checks. You're basically being paid by the UFC to do the commentary and stuff. Like, those are the type of people that shouldn't, even be in that area anymore. I mean, and what was it? I think another podcast I was listening to, they made a good point. A lot of those Dagestani Russian guys, that are sponsored by these companies, it's not like they have a choice, man. A lot of those guys, their family's under threat. Like, hey, you're gonna wear this shirt, you're gonna fight for my promotion, or else something bad's gonna happen to such and such back where you live. So, I mean, in those instances, we understand. But I mean, we're talking about those guys that are making that big money already, really well known, and they still have ties to a lot of bad things, like like Verdum, like what was it, Jackson's, making videos saying, oh yeah, hey, we're so happy, we can't wait to come and see you over there. And it's like, wow, man, like it's a really bad look.
Yeah, I mean, circumstances are different with every fighter, 100%. And like you said, the people from out there, sometimes they're forced to do certain things like that, like they have no option. And like I said, in that case, you understand. But someone like Verdum, and I don't know the details behind it and all, but from the looks of it, the guy doesn't necessarily need the money, right? Like the guy's making good money. The guy's at the top of the division. That's making big bucks in the fights. You would think he has much bigger endorsements where they're, or he can get bigger endorsements. But it's crazy, man. Circumstances are different with everybody, and it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, listen. Verdum's got money. That guy's a fucking scumbag. And let me tell you something, Verdummy. You hit me with a goddamn boomerang, I'll sue you, Jack. I dare you. I double dare you to hit me with a goddamn boomerang. I ain't Kobe Covington. I'll sue you gladly. Call me a pussy.
Well, how about this? Fred? How about this, Fred? You were talking about Canelo and the whole drug thing, failing drug test. So I brought this up to Eddie, and I don't know if you read about this, if you guys read about this, but Josh Barnett, he just went through arbitration with USADA, and so basically after everything, 18 months later, he's cleared. All right, basically, but as a fighter, and as us. Does it surprise you to know like the level of meticulous planning that went into what Josh Barnett went into arbitration with? Because if you read the article and what they said, he had meticulous notes of everything he was eating and taking, and he also saved a sample of everything he took from all these past few years, knowing that eventually, I guess, something would happen, and he had all this stuff presented it to him, and arbitration ruled in his favor. So. Is that something that a lot of fighters should be doing?
I 100%, dude. I think especially in the UFC, they have a lot of things that are in the banned substance. That they're in the banned substance list that are not for like every other fighter. Like it won't be there for us because USADA is not there. USADA is different programs, not necessarily like the commissioners that are testing them and all that stuff. It's different list of banned substances that USADA has and then has. So. You definitely got to be on top of all that stuff. And you hear it all the time that, tainted supplements and all this and all that. And, it's just on the banned substance list. And it's not necessarily that they're taking, steroids or doing something illegal. It's just on the list of banned substances. And who knows how long it's been there? Who knows who's reviewed that list? Who knows how all that's gone down? So, yeah, man, you gotta watch your butt. You got to make sure you cover all ends and at the end of the day, when something like this comes down, you have to have the proof. And he did it right. He showed the proof, because when people don't have the proof, there's always that doubt. Like, man, was it a banned substance? Was it a tainted supplement? Like, was he really doing something that he shouldn't have been doing? So I feel like Barnett did it the right way. He had a list of everything. He showed it, and he proved his innocence. And, obviously he got cleared for that reason.
Fred, right. Did it surprise you a little bit? Like, it surprised me. I know Josh Barnett's a pretty smart dude, but damn, that seemed like genius level planning right there, in my opinion.
All right. So, couple things here. Listen, Josh Barnett, I like him. Okay, we're both metalheads, old school pride guy. I like Josh. Josh Barnett has been caught cheating more than goddamn it, Mark McGuire. All right. So no. It's not really surprising that he's got a laundry list of shit that he's been taking, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't get caught up in this. Look, has USADA made some mistakes and had some issues? Definitely. At the end of the day, though, it's up to you to know what you're putting in your body. I understand that there's definitely some supplements where some shit gets fucked up. There's been some weird cases like Yoel Romero and Tim Means where USADA has actually had to literally admit that they made a mistake. But wasn't it Mighty Mouse that said he takes nothing?
No.
Everybody go fuck themselves. Look, that little fucking 5'2" prick can fucking become the GOAT on eating apples and fucking steaks. I don't want to hear no shit from nobody else. Take the Mighty Mouse plan and nobody ever pops hot for nothing ever again. Goddamn, I'm a genius. Look at that. Solved it all.
But what about Canelo, man? He's not taking stuff, and he got popped by the Mexican meat.
Oh, get the fuck out of here with those Mexican cows. He's a lion cocksucker, Canelo.
Look, dude, here's the thing. Like, not taking anything might be the only way to not get popped by USADA. That might be the only way to do it, to not take anything. You know what I mean? It's okay. Oh, all right, Henrik, with this, a lot of people have an opinion about USADA. A lot of people are like, yeah, I want USADA in there. You know, like I want to catch all these guys that are doing stuff. A lot of people now, and little by little, it's gaining more traction that are very anti-USADA. Where do you land on that scale there?
I mean, I do think it kind of sucks that, USADA, I believe they were using it, they use it for the Olympic testing and all that stuff. And like I said, their banned substances is just, they have stuff that the commissioner doesn't have, so they need to be on the same page, 100%. Everybody needs to agree on what's banned. Because, man, how many times have we seen, pop for banned substances, tainted supplement, this and this, this and that. It's just not, nothing's even. Everybody, there's a list here, a list there. The commissioner is okay with it, but USADA's not. UFC is not really doing anything to kind of meet in the middle. So, I mean, it kind of sucks, but it also, you kind of need it, man. You need it to make sure nobody's cheating. And like we said, if Mighty Mouse is out there doing it, not taking anything, and he's clean, then hell, why can't everybody else do it? And like I said before, if you need those little extra whatever to get that edge, then you don't trust your skill, man. If you're not confident enough in your skill, you need to take whatever it is you need to take. Then maybe you need to look into what you're doing or your training or your team, your camp, and all that stuff. But I mean, I do think USADA is it's gonna cut out a lot of the cheaters. We've seen a lot of fighters change in their best since USADA came in. So obviously it's been effective in the way of taking out those real cheaters. But then there's all those people that get caught in the mix, again, from banned substances and all that list. That, I mean, it also may be just a case of the fighters not doing the research, not finding out what they shouldn't be taking, what they should be taking. So at the end of the day, what you take, if you're not researching, if you're accountable, it's your fault.
All right, so let me ask you this then. So Josh Barnett was able to take this to arbitration, and they ruled in his favor. So meaning that he takes the low end of the guilt of him having a banned substance in his body. So for him, 18 months, and he was able to sit out, not make money, and all that stuff. So is this a plan that you think that a lot of fighters could implement, or is this more like just of a high-end thing? Because think about it, like, let's say you or your opponent gets popped for something like this, and you saw, or like the commissioner goes, well, we'll do an investigation. You could take 2 years off, or you could take the blame and we'll give you, 14 months or 15 months. Like, do you think that like this is more of an option for like these guys that have the money and have the ability to do this? Or do you think this could look for an option, that everybody could take?
I mean, like I said, man, you got to be aware of you're right, man. Be a list of what you're taking, be aware of everything. And he was able to end up, obviously that was the best option to do it, but you're doing suck that regardless of it, whatever time he took off and made no money, like he was innocent and nobody's going to give him money back that he could have made. So you out of money, and make some money now, I guess, sooner than he could. But I mean, it's just a big mess right there, dude. That's all fucked up right there. Like I said, every over the place, nobody's on the same page as far as USADA and all that stuff. So with that, and in that sense, I kind of don't like USADA, but it is what it is, man.
Listen, goddamn it, there's gonna be some casualties of war. Lyoto Machida, I'm sorry. God damn it, Josh Barnett, I'm not sorry, because karma's a bitch, you cheating motherfucker. You cheated half your career. Ain't sorry. Whatever. But for the motherfuckers that get caught in the crossfire, I'm sorry. But you know what? Let me tell you something, Jack. One guy makes it worth it for me, and it hurts my heart bad. But John Jones, I was under the illusion that he was our Michael Jordan. Come to find out, he was a goddamn sham. He was a big fat phony. So that makes it worth it, man. I don't want to live in a world where motherfuckers get to cheat and then we get to crown them our goats. He's not the greatest martial arts of our generation like I thought he was. He was a fucking cheater.
I agree with that 100%, man. And like I said, the fact that USADA is able to get those guys out of the game or catch the line and let everybody know, like, hey, look, these guys are the real cheaters. You're right. I mean, we're going to get caught in there. It comes down to their responsibility, man. If you're not responsible for all that stuff, then it's your own fault. You're supposed to be on top of that stuff, and it is 100% worth it to me to get people like John Jones out of there, to get the real cheaters caught out of there. And everything else eventually will settle itself down. And it's a process too, man. MMA is still pretty young sport. So it's out, get into it. I feel like in a few years there'll be a lot more, stabilized, and it'll be a much more easier platform as far as all that stuff.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so to move on to another topic here. So Ronda Rousey, you seen this thing that she did on ESPN, man? Where she I don't know if you guys saw it. She was on Mike Golick and Wingo in the morning, and basically they asked her. Look, Mike Golick is not the best speaker, right? He screws up words every other word's jacked up, but he was making a point about would you ever fight again? He messed up by saying, if you can go back in time, would you fight again? Like, and everyone watching was like, okay, he's just asking if she'll ever fight again. And she responds with, I don't have a time machine, or I'm not able to time travel. Rick, did you see that? And when you saw that, like what was your first thought? Like, were you thinking like, okay, that was a stupid question, or did she not hear what he said? Like, what were your thoughts?
I felt what he was saying. I understood it. And I feel like she just kind of got upset at her end of the MMA career. You could tell right away she kind of got uncomfortable with that MMA, almost like she just want to ignore her career or like what happened. Obviously, yeah, he got mixed up with his words and he sounded a little goofy, but she knew what, man. We all know what he meant. She just didn't like the question, and she tried to send that the other way, stupider. But I mean, I feel like she's just trying to forget what Amanda did to her and Holly did to her. So now she's trying to do WWE, and more power to her. Go make your money, go do your thing, but be straight up. No, I don't plan on fighting. I'm afraid to fight anymore. That shit fucked my career up. Whatever. Like, be straight up. If you're trying to beat around the bush, then it's gonna make you look a lot worse than what you could have. So I feel like she was kind of a little bit of a B word on that. So
yeah. She's the one that was doing that do nothing bitch stuff, and now she's kind of doing nothing with that. I don't know, it's weird, but
what about that second video that she was on? What was the second video? What was that?
With Max Kellerman?
Was that what it was on? Where it's the I think Shannon Sharp I think was on. Oh. It was like a three screen thing. Where basically the person that was asking her a question, he said, there's a lot of people out there saying that this and this and that. Like he posed a question in that way. And right away she attacked him going, oh, a lot of people, huh? Like, a lot of people are scared to voice their own opinion and they put it on the guise of other people. And it's like, to me, it's like, those are opportunities for her to just address the situation of, I had a loss. I'm not doing MMA anymore. I'm doing wrestling. Let's move on. But instead, like when she takes this like defensive stand, like Henrik was saying, it just makes it seem like she's so bitter towards something that gave her everything that she has now, right? Like she wouldn't be a WWE star if she didn't fight in the UFC and be as dominant as she was. If she wasn't a champion for so long, she wouldn't have what she has now. But yet she treats the MMA part of her career as something that she doesn't want to talk about anymore. It's like, it's sad.
I don't know, man.
Beating around the bush for that stuff is like, it's kind of like, I mean, it's not even that bad. You talk about your losses. It is what it is, man. Everybody loses,
I'll tell you what, man. I think that we all might be missing the motherfucking point. I think she's trolling.
That's what I thought. That's
real
what I
shit.
thought too.
Real shit.
Yeah.
I think she's trying to feed into the character that she is cultivating for the WWE. Because like when I was watching that interview, like when she was like, "Oh, what? So like I can go back in time?" When she first said that, I'm like, "Yo, is this bitch serious? She can't be serious. Like she's not Yo, she's not retarded, dog.
No.
Let's make no mistake about it. She knew what the fuck he meant. She knew he didn't mistake her for goddamn it Michael J. Fox, and she was actually going back to the fucking future. Get the fuck out of here, man. She's trolling, or she's officially retarded. I think she's trolling though, man. I think she's just trying to build.
Hey, you don't know
for this WWE shit.
Some stuff, or Amanda's punches might
have. Maybe.
Thinking differently now.
Amanda punch retarded.
Serious shots she took.
Damn. And everyone wanted to see her against Cyborg. Get out of here with that shit. Like, that'd have been bad.
I mean, well, let's also be real, man. I mean, I don't want to knock on, but it was a different level of competition when she was coming up. She top girls. She wasn't facing crazy girls that she faced were one-dimensional like her. So she was able to take her one dimension, and she was just much more dominant in that little aspect. But now you have girls that are good wrestlers, good strikers, good kickboxers. And now you put all that together. Now you're having real martial art against her, and then you're able to see who the real mixed martial. And it just showed, a legit boxer, kickboxer came out and just destroyed her in front of her and get punched. A legit girl hit really hard, stood in front of her and just whooped her, So the competition changed drastically. And, that's the big thing. You kind of ignore, like you can't ignore that. There was a different level of competition. And now that the competition caught up, but to keep up with it. She didn't evolve. I don't think she evolved as much. And I guess her coaching is a whole nother story, but you don't evolve, you'll stay stuck.
Yo, but her head movement was on point, right, guys? Or at least the coaching for the head movement was on point, right?
No? Dude, man.
Yeah. Her and Travis Brown.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know you could regress that badly by switching cams. Apparently you can. Like, Travis Brown was legit, and then he went to Edmund, and it's just like, that's not Travis Brown. Travis Brown used to have footwork like basketball players. Like, crazy footwork.
Yeah, dude. He used to be on his toes like crazy, man, and it was almost like they hit the ground and got him stuck in there, dude. Like, they put sandbags on his feet, and then he wasn't moving at all. And I'm like, and I feel like Ronda, she on her. Everybody was telling her, yeah, you look good. Yeah, your striking's awesome. Yeah, that other girl, Alex and Sarah McMahon and all and again, not high-level strikers.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you're going to go through them. Of course, you're going to look good against those people. I'm pretty sure anybody could that has decent striking,
Yeah, I mean, it helps out when they put you against Betch Kohei and you drop her on the Straight Outta Compton poster. Like, god damn. Like, she got that, and everyone started calling her the Mike Tyson of MMA. I'm like, whoa, hey, wait a second. That was Betch Kohei. She didn't knock out Cyborg. You know what I mean? She didn't knock out Holly Holm. What the hell? But it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, that was rough for sure.
Yeah.
That was rough for sure.
Absolutely, man. All right, let's move on to the. There's no MMA, there's no event this weekend as far as like a big event. Next weekend though, UFC 223. This might be a stupid question to ask you. Okay, who you got in the main event, bro?
Man, I love Tony's style, dude. I think Tony is a legit mixed martial artist that just puts it together. Everybody can, man. He has like a crazy style. I feel like his style. I will say, Khabib has probably the main. But when you go against that type of fighter, when he can just mix it up really well, Tony is insanely unpredictable, and there's things from angles that nobody throws. You can't prepare for that. So it's has a little bit more of the edge. But man, when you're wrestling bare, Jesus, that gives
right.
So yeah.
Anytime I hear one of those, Medov last names, I'm like, oh shit, where's he from? This can't be good. But
yeah, exactly, straight up, man. So interesting matchup for sure. I'm excited to see it. But I think
it'll be a great fight. Fred, what do you think?
I like Khabib, man. Look, man, those gloves are small, and one thing that we do know about Tony is he's extremely unpredictable. So the idea that he could catch Khabib with a weird shot from a weird angle is totally understandable. But what I've come to realize in this sport, watching it for as long as I have, usually when you have a scenario like this, the grappler wins. You know what I mean? And I would hold the same viewpoint if Khabib fights Conor. Could Conor or Tony catch Khabib and knock him out? Sure. But if they don't, they're more than likely fucked. You know what I mean?
He has some legit jiu-jitsu as well, man. His ground, and he does train with some time with Eddie, and surprised me a lot of times when he goes in there, where you think like, man, this dude's not gonna be able to do that. I mean, alone the fight with Barboza was, and I thought I smacked him around, but this dude was just in there taking Kevin Lee the same thing. Dude, Kevin Lee took him down. He was like, well, yeah. I mean, that jiu-jitsu is no joke. Crazy, and if you can apply it the right way, you may be able to break an arm or put him to sleep.
Listen, I agree with you. I think that is the real fight inside this fight. Is I think this we're gonna find out exactly how good Eddie Bravo's system is
100%,
next Saturday. We're gonna find out how effective, because let me tell you something, Jack. Short of Tony knocking him out immediately, Tony's getting put on his back in this fight. That's going to happen. Khabib is going to take Tony down for sure. I would bet my firstborn kid that, goddamn it, Tony's shoulders are hitting the mat. Fight. Now, what happens from there? I think that if Khabib gets a takedown in the first round, we will find out what this fight will look like early. If Khabib takes him down and Tony is not able to get guard or get back to his feet or at least threaten from his back, it's going to be a long fucking night. Now, if Khabib gets the takedown and Tony pulls some fucking cute shit, some fucking rubber band grasshopper guard, and he fucking reverses fucking Khabib or threatens with triangles or hits him with an elbow or some shit, it could get real fucking interesting. But Khabib gonna get that takedown, and that's when this fight begins, in my opinion. But I'm picking Khabib for the goddamn record. Those Russians are sneaky. And listen, he's probably fucking juiced up too. It's like fucking rules over there. Let's be fucking honest.
Give Usada some time. They'll find a way. Jesse, who you picking in that fight, man?
You know, initially I was agreeing, and I was thinking that Tony Ferguson would take this fight, but I don't know if you guys listened to the press conference, the video conference that just happened today. Listen to that, and to me, it sounds like Tony Ferguson attempting to pump himself up and not be intimidated by what he's about to encounter.
But he always sounds like that low key, though.
Not to this extreme, man. Like most of the time, yeah, he's pretty hot headed, and you know he'll try to get under your skin. But when you listen to that video call or to that phone call, it just sounds like he's trying really hard to really get under Khabib's skin, and he's trying really hard to tell him, like, you know, you were born with a silver spoon. I'm gonna beat you over the head with that spoon, and he's trying so hard to sound intimidating. And to me, it's like
everybody's doing that after Conor McGregor now. You know, everybody's trying to be like,
you're right. He
put all that out there and not sound, you know, witty and fluid as Conor. You just kind of.
But the thing is that Tony Ferguson has a way of doing his trash talking. We've heard it before, and he's pretty effective at the way he does it. But this just seems like an extra level of like, I can't let this guy get in my head. I have to get ahead of him, and like it just feels like he's trying too hard. And then if you listen to that that call, Khabib the whole time he's like, "Come on, man, just relax. We're just trying to talk here. Get some questions in." Like he's so calm and like fluid. You know, it just kind of gives me a weird vibe that Tony Ferguson is putting too much on himself for this fight, and I think Khabib's gonna really surprise him in this fight.
Could be, man. Hey, but I will say this: after I saw Tony kicking that granite pole, nothing, I was that's some crazy shit, dude. So to the head might be serious.
Look, man, I saw that video of him kicking the pole, and I remember like my Muay Thai coach is telling me take a baseball bat and go up and down your shin, and I was like, Tony just took it up to a whole nother level, man. Not for me. Nope. F that. Seriously, F that, dude.
That hurt me when that was rough.
Right?
and even on the ground, elbows are a serious weapon. So if Khabib does have dominant control and he can get to good spots, but if there's any Tony to throw an elbow, it's gonna be serious. He can slice him up, and he may not beat him technically, but let's say he cuts him wide open on his forehead and the fight can't continue. That's a tool that he used to beat him, and it's gonna win him the fight. So I feel like Tony has more tools overall to win, whether it be on the feet, on the ground. So it gives him a little more chances, but that one tool that Khabib has is insanely good. So, I mean, it's really, we just have to see what happens at that point.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with this fight, man. Now I am not accusing Kevin Lee of being anywhere near the ground game of a Khabib, right? But remember, Kevin Lee on top of Tony, and Tony beat him up with the elbows off his back, just like you were saying. The elbows off your back, that's very underrated in my opinion. If you can throw elbows and slice somebody up off your back, you could be on top, dropping whatever you want to. The second you get cut up, blood's coming down. That's going to change your mind a little bit about whether you're covering or coming down with your own shit. So I like that part.
Opening up for submissions.
Exactly. Once you got, this is one more thing to worry about. It's like, I got to worry about this guy elbow me off his back. You know what I mean? I better post here. Oh shit, triangle. Oh shit, armbar, or whatever, right? So, and I'm not saying that Khabib can't defend that, not by any means. I am saying there's more than one thing, in my opinion, for him to more ways for Tony Ferguson to win, in my opinion, than Khabib does.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Tony's definitely the more well-rounded mixed martial artist. That's a fact. But like you said, man, you put it perfectly. The one skill that Khabib has is extremely high level, man. I've been watching fucking martial arts for a long time. I don't think I've seen anybody quite like him when it comes to fucking controlling a person. Like, he is a fucking animal.
The training partner he has, dude. He has Daniel Cormier with him. Mm-hmm. He has, Cain Velasquez. Those guys are top level wrestlers, And if you're wrestling with those guys every day, you go out, you wrestle someone like Tony, it's a big difference. Tony's nowhere near the caliber of the wrestler. Not that he's a wrestler, but they're just totally different.
Nobody is fucking DC or Kane's fucking caliber. That's Olympic level wrestling. I mean, you can't really find nobody to mimic that shit. So yeah, the fucking point, man.
All right, Ricky.
Yeah. So that to me is what makes it really, really interesting. And man, I'm excited to see that fight.
No, 100%, man. All right, so do not miss, Mr. Is it Heinrich or Henrik?
Heinrich.
Heinrich Wasmer is fighting April 13th. Go back to Americas in California. If you're in town, this is LA, man. If you're in town, get yourself some tickets, man. Like, look, I'm not bullshitting. Combate Americas, you get like straight up killers to show up. These guys and these men and women go in there to tear themselves apart for entertainment and to win a fight. So I know people always like, oh, UFC fights are boring and all that stuff. Fine, go watch Combate Americas. Every single fight's a scrap. No shit, 100%. I watch them all the time.
Yeah.
And you're taking on Michael Reyes.
Thank you guys, man.
Yeah, and
we're working. Oh man, I've been busting my ass like crazy. So be ready for a real good show.
All right, so make sure because I actually did the research and wrote these down. You are at Ricky _scraps with a K on Twitter, on Instagram. Where else are you at?
I got as well. Wasmer. Pretty much that's about it. Twitter. Well, follow me, see my training camp, see what I do, see who I put everything together to go out and kick some ass.
See, and this is the man's ahead of the game already. Everyone's still catching up to social media stuff already. You're already there, dude. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
This is a business, man. We're a business here. We're putting ourselves out there, and fighting is one thing, but just my skills are not gonna sell it, man. I also gotta be a businessman, put myself out there. So I try to make it just a fight enjoyable, but the whole road down from training camp all the way, gonna see how I do it in an entertaining manner.
Perfect, man. Hey, we'll let you get back to work, man. Good luck in training camp. We'll see you April 13th, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having me. Good. Thank you.
Later, brother. Good luck, man.
Thank you very much.
See you. All right, so we're gonna wait for that was Heinrich Wasmer. We're gonna wait for Jesse to come back here in a minute because I know he had like a question or whatever he wanted to do before we headed out. But Fred, with this whole thing, dude, with and I probably should have asked Ricky about this, but a lot of people were trying to tell me and telling a lot of people, but a lot of people I argue for Rose Namajunas. I think she's at that point where she's getting better and better. That I don't think Joanna beats her, but everyone's convinced Joanna's gonna get her belt back. Where are you on that?
I'll put it to you like this, man. I don't think it was a fluke. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Joanna's just gonna like steamroller. I mean, look, could Joanna win the fight? Sure. She did catch her with a big punch, so we didn't get to see a lot. So it's hard to say. Mm-hmm. But I'm definitely not under the impression that fucking Rose just got lucky and like this fight is going to go like what the first one should have went like. If anything, I think this fight will be a war and maybe Joanna will come out on top. But I don't think Joanna just comes out and steamrolls her. But I mean, you know, this is MMA. Anything's possible. But like, I don't think that like, again, I don't think Thug got lucky and she's just about to get mollywopped. I'm not. That's not the jive at all.
What are you thinking there, Jesse?
Yeah, I agree. Surprisingly, I agree with Fred. I don't think, I don't think that listening to what Joanna is saying about her weight cut being that bad, and you know that she's the boogie woman's really coming after her this time. I don't see it, man. I just think that Rose just kind of surprised everybody with her the leaps and bounds that she made between one fight to the next, you know, and that's what happens. Sometimes some fighters just, it all clicks in one fight and they just surprise everybody. And I think it's going to be more of the same in this next fight. I don't think we're going to see too much of a different fight. I think Joanna's going to come out as best as she can, and she's going to get steamrolled, I think.
Ooh. Well, you know, I don't know if Joanna gets steamed. I think it's gonna be a much longer fight this time, but it'll be I think it'll get to the ground. In my opinion, it'll get to the ground, then we'll find out. In fact, I think Joanna's gonna show us a little bit of a ground game, but I'm with you. I don't think this is like a foregone conclusion that she's gonna get her belt back. It's just it's a weird thing. So Jesse, you had a question for the end of the all right, the end of the thing.
Yeah, well, I kind of have two. So it's up to you guys if you want to go with both of them. But I'm a big movie guy, as you guys have already heard from me. My question to you guys this week: is there a director out there that, whether he makes a film, TV show, anything, is there one guy that you go and you just watch everything he does?
A director.
I'll start to help you.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
For me, a guy that I just love pretty much everything he does is Quentin Tarantino. Just the way he structures his stories.
That's the easy one.
But he's probably one of the best, and the reason I like him the most is because he is one of the few guys that is able to tell a story the way he wants to tell it. He's not influenced by, studio money or anything. He does his own stuff and he tells the stories the way he wants to tell them. And that's what makes him one of the best to me.
All right, you cute little pricks. I'm going to fucking give you guys a curveball this time. There's a director by the name of Alan Ball, who is actually a brilliant director. Have y'all ever seen a movie called American Beauty?
Yep.
With Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
Alan Ball directed that movie. He also directed a show on HBO called 6 Feet Under. It was not a very big show, but it was fucking dope. And he's doing a new show right now that I just got into called Here and Now that's on HBO. Really, I don't know, man. Philosophical kind of. Had a lot to do with like death and reflection of life and shit like that. It's dope though. Alan Ball's a really weird. If you've seen American Beauty, then that's exactly how he writes his series too. Kind of funny, kind of dark, very serious, very deep. You know what I'm saying? Alan Ball's the shit, man. Alan Ball.
There you go. And I had to actually look up this dude's name, but I just realized that he directed a lot of films I like. Director of Gladiator, Hannibal, Black Hawk Down. What else? American Gangster. Ridley Scott. I'm a fan of Ridley Scott. dude. He just seems to make. I don't know. He just makes movies that I like. It's the weirdest shit. Like you ever have like this constant amount like movies. I mean, just like I said, I had to look at the dude's name because I didn't know it. But all those movies that I like, and it's the same dude, Ridley Scott. I don't know what it is about his style, but it's pretty cool. What was I gonna say? Fuck. Isn't there? Damn it! The Deadpool movie, Deadpool 2. When does that come out? I know he didn't make that, but still.
In a couple months, I think like June or something, July.
Isn't there a movie coming out really soon that people are like freaking out about?
The Avengers or some shit.
Maybe the
Infinity Wars or some shit.
Are you guys like into like the Avengers and stuff like that? Because I'm just like, whatever.
I don't know.
I am very much, and that was my second question. My second question was going to be because I asked this to a lot of people, and their answer varies, and it always tells me something interesting about them. What is your favorite superhero? And again, I will go first to give you guys time a little bit to think about your answer. Mine is the Green Lantern. I have a gigantic Green Lantern tattoo on my arm, just because he is the epitome of hope and the human condition. His power is based upon his ability to hope and to overcome. So that to me speaks volumes to me. So that is to me my favorite superhero. I'll ask Fred. Fred, go ahead. I want to hear what Fred's gonna say.
This is an interesting one, man, because I'm not really a big comic book guy or superhero guy. But when I was younger, there was a time when I actually kind of got into comic books, like all little boys. And for whatever reason, I always liked Venom.
Yeah.
He seemed like a more badass Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a little faggy, you know what I'm saying? And Venom was like a badass Spider-Man. So I always kind of dug Venom, which there's a new Venom movie coming out too that looks actually really
Tom Hardy.
So yeah.
Tom Hardy. You know what? I always had two, and I always lean towards Batman, but that's like the easy answer. I am a big fan of the Hulk. And it's just like the meathead part of it. Just like this fucking dude gets angry and breaks shit left and right. I never liked who's a doctor? There's a doctor one. It's Doctor Strange. I thought that was lame as fuck. And also third, Gambit was the shit from X-Men. I thought Gambit they could have done something way better with that character, but he was kind of like the asshole that played cards and threw shit at you. I mean, I thought he was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Gambit. I forgot about
All right. I'll give you guys a director to kind of look at. You probably have seen most of his films and his shows, but David Fincher. If you guys just know anything about that guy is amazing. He did, I think, The Social Network, Fight Club. What was it? That Mindhunter. So to anybody out there that doesn't know his kind of style, it's very unique style, and it's just he's got some really good movies under his belt.
And for the record, just as we close up tonight, as we were starting the show, for any of you poor souls who are actually still with us after all this time, I wasn't just stating that Donald Glover was extremely talented. We all know that. I was stating that he is specifically more talented than Justin fucking Timberlake. So that, my friends, is the hot take. Donald Glover, more talent than JT. You heard it here first. Suck it.
Yeah, don't at me with that shit. Whatever the fuck that
no,
means.
please at me. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I can't get nobody at me. At me, goddammit, please.
I'd want to hear the argument against that statement there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't got one. I like Donald Glover way better than fucking.
Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like Justin Timberlake is a very talented stage performer, but homeboy don't write his own lyrics. He don't write none of his own music. I mean, even in the acting realm, Justin Timberlake's a good actor. Bro, Donald Glover acts in, stars, directs, and wrote Atlanta. Atlanta's fucking good. It's funny.
On top of it, stand-up comedian,
and
singer and rapper, both.
And actually good at both of them. He's not a whack rapper. And fucking Awaken My Love won a fucking Grammy.
Yeah, 100%. Dude.
God damn. Tell me America ain't racist. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's going to be a sad day when his last album drops, which is coming up this year.
I don't buy that shit. They always say it's the last album.
Yeah, I don't buy that either.
He's pretty serious, man. He's pretty on point with what he does.
I the only reason I would buy that is because I think that maybe film. I'm telling y'all, man, if y'all have not watched Atlanta, it's really good. What the fuck? Like, I think people are seeing that and they're like, yo, this kid is good. Like, he fucking directs, writes, and fucking stars in, and it's brilliant. Like, it's crazy.
How about to give everybody, if you haven't seen it, there's an episode, I think towards the end of the season, where they have a black Justin Bieber.
Oh my God, yeah. That I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but just like this in this world.
One of the best like episodes
and he just couldn't take it. He just disappeared and looked at him immediately, people.
I don't know if you saw that episode, Fred. I'm pretty sure you did, but it's so amazing just because it's like it's so unique in the way he wrote it and did everything. It's badass. I mean,
it's brilliant. It really is. Yeah, they yeah. Okay, Eddie. So you're back. Yeah. They just have like this alternate universe where it's like this celebrity basketball game, and they're like, oh shit, here comes Justin Bieber, and he's Justin Bieber, so he has that persona, but it's just a little black kid instead of it actually being Justin Bieber,
dude. And who thinks of that kind of shit? You know what I mean? I've never thought about that.
It was just, and then watching it play out, like Donald Glover plays the role. He's like managing his cousin, who's a up and coming like kind of gangster rapper. He's this big fat dude named Paperboy. So of course, Paperboy and the black Justin Bieber end up talking shit and getting into like a little scuffle during the celebrity basketball game. It's fucking hilarious, man.
Dude, Donald Glover at some point was sitting there going, what if Justin Bieber was black and then just took off with that shit? Like, fuck.
Right.
God damn it. All right.
Think about this. Every album that Childish Gambino has put out is different from the last one. They're all unique, and his last one, the one that Fred mentioned, "Awaken My Love," is just such it's such like a different take on music that you just don't hear so often. And I know a lot of people have heard Redbone and stuff. You just got to listen to the whole album. It's so unique. It's so different. It's an amazing album to just kind of geek out and listen to. This turned into a Donald Glover love marathon, but whatever.
Pretty much. It was funny because I have that album, and I just love the track that says "The night me and your mom met" or something like that, and I was like, oh, this motherfucker.
And listen, Redbone is the easy one to like, but like, dude, that's a classic song.
Yeah.
There's not many songs that 20 years from now that song comes on and I'll be fucking with it.
Oh,
like,
we'll know it.
Song. You know what I mean?
It's one of those things where it pops up and you know the fucking song word for word. Like we have songs there like that right now, but he's gonna be one of those. The other song on there that I fucking love is Stand Tall. I like that one.
Yeah. I even like the zombie one.
The zombie one's
real funky, sounds like a funk tune or something, man. He's like moaning through it. It's fucking sweet. He's a fucking talented character, man. I knew he was talented, but after watching Atlanta, like that was my takeaway. I'm like, man, fuck Justin Timberlake. Who the fuck is Justin Timberlake, Jack? This goddamn Childish Gambino is killing it.
Yep. All right. Anything else you guys want to hit on before we head out?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Is there anything MMA related? That's it. We touched it. There's nothing happened, right?
There's nothing going on with no events.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's wrap up the fucking the phone conversation they had. Here's the long and short of it. It's the fucking Khabib show, not the Tony show. Tony got shit on all over today. We'll see what happens when he get in the cage. I guess they'll have some more interactions leading up to the fight. But just to save anybody some time that has not heard it, Tony got owned on that phone call.
Can I also say that the douchiest person on that phone call was some journalist, quote unquote, that was like, oh my God, guys, I would pay $65 just to be a part of this, to listen to this. I was just like, wow.
They said that on the call?
Yeah, he said that on the call.
Who was it?
I don't remember.
Now you're going to make me fucking listen to that shit so I can fucking just own that dude? Oh, dude, don't fucking trigger me with that bullshit. All right.
Fred knows. Fred probably remembers hearing this idiot talk about that. It's hilarious.
What a fuck that guy. Whoever that is, fuck that guy. Anyway, all right. I can't stand shit like that. All right, it's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, shout out to Heinrich Wasmer. Of course, you can follow him on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Just look up Ricky_Scraps with a K. It's SKRAPS. Dude's gonna fucking show up on April 13th and throw down with Michael Reyes there. That's gonna be a scrap. Don't get it twisted. It's gonna be good. Shout out to Joy Tremendous, Uncle Hank, Nick X Micro, our boy Nick Pilecki showed up a little bit. UC was here, and of course Jeremiah from the Hardcore MMA show. It's gonna do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Nice chill little week. Not a lot of MMA stuff going on. No big event this weekend. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going on. And of course, everyone get ready for UC 223 next weekend. Cross your fingers that everyone's in bubble wrap and like away from any kind of like possible ways to hurt themselves. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow Fred Kirby at Kirby_MMA. You can follow Jesse S for 1983. I'm at Elo31. The page is at Keyboard MMA. Yeah. And shout out to Rep2Warriors.com. Get yourself some shit. Hook us up, help us out at the same time. And SpicesPros.com just got some new seasonings that I've been fucking with. It's fucking legit. So make sure you go on there and order some of that shit. All right. For myself, Fred, Jesse, the whole team, everybody. Good night. Enjoy yourselves. And good night, Wilshire.